Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, robots and chickens, welcome to the channel. I'm Ben Gothard. Obviously, this is my channel. But I'm really here to help you take advantage of the power of compounding in every area of your life. Now, first and foremost, I want to start off with sharing a philosophy of life, for life, with you. Now, this is the philosophy that I've lived my life by. I learned it from a mentor years ago, and it's profoundly and radically changed my life and how I approach life ever since. And I'll continue to be using it for the rest of my life. And I tell everybody that I possibly can about this. And so I want to break it down for you. And it really starts with an idea of the 7 core disciplines. And the philosophy is basically based on making the most out of your life by utilizing the 7 core disciplines. So what are they? I remember them with the acronym SIPFIRE, like taking a sip of fire, the burning stuff. And the acronym stands for spiritual, intellectual, physical, financial, industrial, relational, and emotional. And so if you think about it, everything in our lives as humans can be organized and understood and falls within one of these 7 core disciplines. I'll give you an example. Let's take the physical discipline. Well, in our physical lives, we have exercise, we have nutrition, we have sports, we have travel, we have sex, we have our height, our weight, everything that goes on in our physical lives will fall within that discipline. Let's take intellectual, learning, education, just being intellectually stimulated, humor, jokes, things like that. All that falls within intellectual. Let's take, so it all really makes sense when you really think about it. It's very simple. It's very basic. I'm not going to go through each one. You all are very intelligent. So thinking about the 7 core disciplines, really the beauty comes when we are using that as a framework to understand our lives. Four of the disciplines all at the same time. For example, I do a lot of listening to audiobooks while I walk, and I take walks every evening. For me, that is physical, that is intellectual, that's spiritual, that's emotional. So many that, and then sometimes if I don't want to do a book, I'll call somebody, I'll call my sister and we'll have a chat. We'll catch up, or I'll call one of my friends and we'll talk. So relational. So one activity or one group of activities can fall into one or more of these 7 core disciplines. But to simplify it, thinking about these 7 core disciplines, going through each one and determining maybe the 1 to 3 most important things to you within those 7 core disciplines. So for example, for me, financial, right? Spend less than I earn and try to, whatever that gap is, invest that. And then my whole goal is to increase that gap and spend as little as possible, and then continue making more over time, and then that gap increases, and then keep investing all that and reinvesting. It's a very virtuous cycle, right? It's very simple. It's very simple. Now, executing that over the course of a lifetime and being really disciplined and sticking with that, that's a little bit more difficult. But this is just a framework and the philosophy we're talking about, right? And so going through each one, identifying the 1 to 3, because we want to focus. We don't want to be too spread thin or too scattered in what we're thinking about. And then thinking about, okay, we have all of our things between 7 to 21 things in total, because there are 7 core disciplines, 1 to 3 main focuses within each discipline. So we'll have between 7 to 21 things for us to focus on and think about every day. We look at those every day, we think about them every day, and then what we want to do is we want to build habits. We want to build in behaviors, routines, habits, and actions that we are doing on a daily basis that helps us make at least a little bit of progress every day in each of those things that we care about within our 7 core disciplines. And by doing that and repeating that every day and making a little bit of progress at least a little bit of progress every single day. The reason I keep correcting myself there is I don't want to say we can only make at least a little bit of progress. Sometimes we can make huge progress in a day. Sometimes we may just make a little. But the goal is to go for at least a little bit of progress every single day. Let that progress compound. itself, right? And just to talk on the power of compounding for a second, compounding is most easily understood through money, right? You put in $100 today, you invest that, you're earning interest, and then you earn interest, you reinvest, and then you're earning interest on your interest and your principal. And so that is a very virtuous cycle where your money is working for you, you're making more money over time, and then all of that new money that you've made, now you're making even more money with the new money, and the snowball continues. That's basically it. That's the power of compounding. If you want to really dive into the math behind it, I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised. It does not take that much on a consistent basis of investing and earning over time to really build up something powerful, right? And the over time part is the most critical part here. The power of compounding loves time, loves the ability to grow over time. And so the theory here is, and we're theory crafting, right? The theory here is everything in life can be understood very, very similarly to that number in the account going up as a result of investing over time through the power of compounding. It's just not as easy to see to most people. But now we know, and now it's on our radar, and we can be aware of that. And so think about something like working out or eating healthy. That compounds as well, right? If you have somebody that goes into the gym for 7 days versus 7 years, the person who's at it every day for 7 years is going to be much stronger than the person who is at it every day for 7 days, or is at it once a week for 7 years. Once a day for 7 years versus once a week for 7 years. The person who's going daily and compounding much more, they're going to have significantly greater results over a period of time. And so every area of our lives, each thing that we care about, we want to take advantage of the power of compounding. We want that to work for us, to help us move forward, to help us reach those goals. And so with our health, with our nutrition, all the 7 core disciplines, each and every one of them, by setting up these behaviors and routines that we can do daily that move us forward towards what we want. It doesn't have to be a goal. It could just be a thing. For example, every day I love to walk. I love doing whatever I need to do during the day. And once it gets a little bit cooler outside, I step outside, I go for a walk. I love walking for upwards of 3 to 4 hours in a single day. I love that. That makes me so happy. And I do a bunch of other things while I'm on my walk, as I mentioned earlier. But just active walking, you're getting stronger. You're getting a little bit of exercise. You're getting out in nature. Your body's getting a little bit stronger. It loosens up all your joints. It's really good for your body. All that stuff, right? That compounds. So somebody who's been taking walks every day for 70 years is going to be more likely than not better off than somebody who hasn't been doing that or has been sitting on the couch for all that time for 70 years, right? And so just thinking about this framework of understanding the 7 core disciplines, recognizing them, more recognizing them than understanding them. Everybody understands them, but recognizing them and how big of a part they play in our lives, especially when we think of all the different things we do, and then being really, really specific about how we devote our time and where we choose to invest our time. And so that investment of time into these activities that help us make progress, that's going to compound for us day after day after day after day, right? So just give one more example here. If somebody is, let's go back to physical. Somebody's eating healthy every day, their good health has the greatest chance of compounding day after day after day because they're eating healthy every day. They're bettering themselves every single day. They're getting healthier. They're getting stronger. And so that is going to compound over a lifetime to lead to the greatest chance of long life, no disease, stronger, better quality of life, all these things. And so that versus then, to invert this, let's say somebody eats really poorly and they just wake up and eat candy all day, or whatever they do that's eating poorly. Well, that compounds too. That compounds into heart disease, to diabetes, to all these horrible things. And so what we are trying to do here is we're escaping the negative side of compounding, because you can compound losses as well. And that's really something to make sure to take note of, is everything we're doing, we're steering ourselves in the positive direction and compounding in the right way. And on top of that, we're also removing the opportunity for ourselves to be compounding in the negative direction. So we're winning in two ways, especially if we started compounding negatively and just rip that out and then put all that time and effort and resources and our attention, our focus on compounding in a positive way, wow, that's going to make a huge difference over the course of our lifetimes for us in a very positive way. And so that's really that's the whole philosophy. It's very simple. It's just understanding these 7 core disciplines, deciding within these 7 core disciplines what's actually important to us, then building out habits and routines and activities and actions and things that we can do every single day that help us move at least a little bit forward in all of these areas of our lives that we care about, and then repeating it every day. Done. Figuring it out, writing it down, and then practicing that every single day. That's going to move us forward, and that's going to give us the best chance of getting everything we want out of life. It's going to give us the best chance of being the healthiest, the strongest, the smartest, the wealthiest, the wisest. It really is going to give us the greatest chance of success in the areas of life that we care about, in the ways that we care about them, that we've all determined beforehand. And so I wanted to share this philosophy because this is really a new turning point for me personally of wanting to, what I want to share with the community. I wanted to share a lot about so many different things, but really the reason why is because at the core of it, we all have so many different interests. We all have so many different facets of our lives. And so using these 7 core disciplines as that foundational piece that we then use to understand the world and understand ourselves, what we care about, and be really specific about what we do and how we spend our time. That is a great foundation that then we can now build on and talk more about different ways we can compound. And the power of compounding in different ways. We can go into any different vertical that really makes sense to talk about, all of which will then, over the course of time, as we're practicing all these things, as we're implementing all these things, we can compound together and we can move forward in our lives and get to where we want to go, or at least give ourselves the best chance of that. So more content is going to come out around this. If you have any questions about that, I'm happy to answer them. Just drop a comment down below. You can also always reach me at my Twitter, which is right there. I'm always happy to talk with you about that. Anything I can do to be helpful here. But more content is coming around this, and I think it's going to be great. So thank you very much for watching, and keep on compounding, everybody. We got this.